What style of motorcycle is best for you to learn how to ride? Let's talk about it. Good, keep it loaded, keep it loaded, keep it loaded, keep it loaded. Very nice, I'm looking at the camera. Very nice, good, good, good. Preloaders, V.I.Preloaders, welcome back to the channel, guys. Always a pleasure to have you guys here with me. And you notice by now, or at least you should. For those of you that have never been here before, welcome to you. My name's Robert. I'm a retired NYPD Highway Patrol motorcycle lieutenant. I did a wonderful 22-year career with the NYPD. 15 of those years spent with the elite NYPD Highway Patrol motorcycle unit. The name of this wonderful channel is called Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle. And on this channel, that's primarily what I try to help you do. I want to help you be the boss of your motorcycle. In other words, I want you to be able to control whatever kind of motorcycle you ride at slow speeds, 1 to 10 miles per hour. I don't want you to be intimidated by the motorcycle. I want you to be in full control. I want you making right turns, left turns, and the infamous U-turn without even having to think twice about it. All right. And with that confidence, that's when you know you're the boss of the motorcycle. I also do private lessons and practice sessions. If that's something you're interested in, go to my website, click on practice information and private lessons if you're interested. We also do product reviews on this channel, product installs, and anything and everything that I feel will be beneficial to you guys, or if I just want to share something with you, I'm always going to do it. So in today's video, guys, and I get this question all of the time. I hear it all of the time. I see it all of the time. What kind of motorcycle, Robert, should I learn on? If I'm a brand new rider and I want to get the hang of the motorcycle, what's the best thing for me? Should it be a heavy motorcycle, larger motorcycle, like this touring style motorcycle, or a lighter motorcycle? And I say lighter because, of course, there's motorcycles lighter than this. This is Scarlett. This is my 2015 Honda CB 1000R. And this is Valiant. Valiant is my 2019 CVO Street Glide. Okay. So with many questions that I get regarding motorcycles, the answer is usually starts out the same way. So if somebody says to me, hey Rob, I'm learning how to ride, I'm brand new, what's the best kind of motorcycle that I should start with? And the answer is, like I said, it's usually always the first answer I give people, it depends. So listen, guys, this is not black and white, right? It really isn't. There's a big portion of shades of gray. Now, I say all the time, guys, there's a million ways to do everything, right? This is not any different, right? So this answer is going to be different for a bunch of different people. So we have a few things we have to consider. First, so I learned how to ride on a Road King, right? And that was a police motorcycle. So I learned how to ride a motorcycle on a heavy motorcycle. I probably was about 30 years old. In good shape. Now, is all of that relevant? Yes and no, not really, right? So if you take your time with this and follow the steps, especially the steps that I give you, which is a warm up and then 1 through 1, 2, 3. Actually, I like the steps 1, 2, and 3. I like people to get comfortable with that first before they move to 4, which is now making turns, right? Now, of course, I'm not talking about all of the basic stuff that you should definitely do. Go to a motorcycle safety course. They give them at Harley Davidson. They give them at other places. But you definitely have to do that to get your endorsement. And I know in those classes, they provide the motorcycle. I think they're 250cc motorcycles, right? So at the end of the day, guys, you can learn how to ride on either motorcycle. It's totally up to you, right? Because once we get the concept of what we need to do to keep these motorcycles upright at slow speeds, right? Once we understand the steps, make sure the motorcycle is in first gear, cover the rear brake, preload and keep it loaded. Slowly release the clutch into the friction zone. And as soon as that motorcycle starts to move, pick up your left foot. As soon as you feel it starting to move, pick that foot up. Once this motorcycle has some motion, using the rear brake to control yourself, clutch control, once you get the concept and understand that that's all it takes, then it really doesn't matter what size motorcycle you're on. Now, with that being said, the lighter motorcycle, and I'm not just particularly talking about this is the lightest motorcycle I have, so that's why I have this here. But of course, there's motorcycles lighter than this. The lighter motorcycle is going to be a lot more forgiving, right? Now, the same rules apply to both of them. If you don't keep sufficient power going to the rear wheel of this motorcycle while you're at slow speeds and you're in a turn, and especially if you're in a lean, it's going to fall. Same thing applies to this one. The only difference is this one's going to intimidate you more because it's heavier, and it's probably going to start falling faster because it's heavier. That's just physics, right? But the rules don't change. So at the end of the day, guys, the answer to your question is what's best for you is what's best for you. It's totally up to you. In other words, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Forget about what you physically are capable of doing. If mentally you're not ready for it, then you need to start on something lighter, right? Now you have some people like Landshark Chronicles, he's a content creator. You can check out his channel. He started his motorcycle journey on a road glide. Now he's not a big guy at all. I think he's a 5'4", right? He's not a tall guy, I should say. He's in good shape. But he said, I don't have time or money to buy a small motorcycle to learn how to ride on and then go back and buy a bigger motorcycle that I really want. So a lot of people say to me, Rob, I really want, let's say it's a street glide. I really want this street glide. But I'm worried. I want to learn how to ride, but is it okay to learn how to ride on this? And I give them the same answer. Listen, it depends. You have to be comfortable at the end of the day. Now, here's another thing too. When you're really green at this, you're going to be uncomfortable at the start. I don't care how light the motorcycle is. You're going to be uncomfortable because you're going to be nervous. We always fear what we don't know and what we don't understand. So I tell them, listen, if this is what you really want and you don't have the resources nor the time to buy one motorcycle, then turn around and buy another motorcycle, you just want to start off on the motorcycle you really want. If it's a motorcycle like this, it's already going to come with engine guards. If it doesn't come with the saddlebag guards, put the saddlebag guards on it. Get motorcycle drop guards as well, or whatever other device you want to put to further protect the guards, and then go out there and practice. Remember, you shouldn't be going out there to practice and starting out trying to do figure eights, or even U-turns for that matter, right? Not tight U-turns or leans or anything like that. Look at my practice videos, right? The practice session videos. The first step, warm-ups, those are short starts and stops. Get comfortable with moving that motorcycle short distances, stop. Short distances, stop. Because again, if you're stopping like this, if every time the motorcycle starts to move, you're taking off like this, you're not comfortable yet, but you're going to get there. And then when you get there, move on to exercise number 1, where now you're rolling. You're going to feel a lot more comfortable with that because, woo, I'm getting up to second gear. Everybody could do this, right? Now it's time for me to slow down. I'm going to downshift. I'm starting off on my front brake, coming to a stop. Now I'm about to come to a stop, off the front brake, rear brake only. Nice, easy stop. Foot down, nice and easy. Not coming down unsteady or uncontrolled, nice and easy. Then you're going to preload, keep it loaded. Of course, you're going to make sure you're in first gear. Same steps all of the time. And then you're going to slowly release the clutch. As soon as it starts to move, boom, that foot comes up. Once you get comfortable with that, boom, then move on to the slow ride. Oh, man, and once you get comfortable with that, move on to exercise number 3, trust and believe. Because see, trust and believe is the most important thing with all of this. One of the most important things, I should say. Because if you don't really trust and believe that as long as there's power going to your rear wheel, sufficient power, that you're going to be okay, then you're going to always have problems because you're going to always be nervous and fearful, and you're going to be wanting to put your foot down when you feel a motorcycle falling. That's how you get hurt, right? When you see motorcycle riders get hurt slow speed, 9 times out of 10, it's because they put their foot out, right? So, and that's another thing. If you're learning on this motorcycle and you're trying to deal with those instincts of putting your foot out, this motorcycle is going to be a lot more forgiving putting your foot out because there's no saddlebag for it to come up into and break your ankle, right? But if this motorcycle falls, it's going all the way over, right? All the way over, which means you're going on the ground. Not really a big deal at slow speeds, but with this one, you keep your feet on the footboard, you can pretty much be sitting like this. So my point is, guys, at the end of the day, I'm sorry if you were looking for a definite answer. Here's what you should do. I notice a lot of people do that in this space. There'll be people to tell you, no, this is what you should do. There's a million ways to do everything. Now, there are some things where there's right and wrong ways, but then there's other things, which are most things, where there's probably a better way. It doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. And in this case, yeah, there are people that will tell you, you bought too big of a motorcycle. Now that's true if you get on the motorcycle and you just want to ride and you have no interest in practicing. If that's you, you should you shouldn't be on any motorcycle in my opinion, but you definitely shouldn't be on a motorcycle that's heavier because you're going to have even less control of it, right? But at the end of the day, not being in control is not being in control, whether you're on a heavy bike or a light bike. So regardless of what kind of bike you choose to learn how to ride on, learn how to ride it, practice, all right, guys? That's the key to this being successful. That's the point of this video is regardless of what kind of motorcycle you pick, just understand you have to practice. You're going to get good regardless of which one you choose. And some of us might say, I'm going to start on a lighter one and maybe in a couple of days go, I want something larger because I don't feel comfortable because it's too small for me. All right. Keep in mind, guys, this whole learning how to ride the motorcycle thing, it's got nothing to do with your height, your weight, your strength. It really doesn't, or should I say it has very little to do with that. That's what I'll say. Because the weight of your motorcycle really comes into play when you drop it and you have to pick it up. Outside of that, as long as that motorcycle is on 2 wheels and you're keeping power to the rear wheel, doesn't matter how heavy it is, doesn't matter how small you are, how weak you are, how old you are, how young you are, that really doesn't matter. And that's why it's so important to practice and understand these techniques, because once you really understand how these machines work, that's going to help you trust and believe that all you need to do is certain things to make sure you're going to be okay. All right, guys? All right, I hope this video helped you out, guys. Please hit that subscribe button if it did, or if you like any of the videos that I put out, yes. If you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button, like this video, share this video. That's always big. We got to make sure that Preloader Nation grows and grows so we have safe and knowledgeable motorcycle riders all over the place. And if you want to be notified every time I put out a new video, hit that notification bell and switch it to all. All right, guys, that's going to do it. You know I'm going to say it. All right, practice, 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 practice. Preload, keep it loaded. And practice, practice, practice some more. I don't care, guys, how many miles you've ridden. I don't care how long you've been riding. Stop talking to people and telling them that and wearing it with a badge of honor. If you still are uncomfortable making a U-turn, riding at slow speeds, if you're still duck walking, you are at the same skill level as a brand new motorcycle rider. All right. You know, in the MSF course, they tell them to do this. If you're still doing that, you're at the same level as them, regardless of how long you've been riding or how many miles you've been riding. And again, this channel is not about arrogance or putting you down or making you feel bad or less than. If you don't know that by now, you talk to a preloader or a V.I.Preloader and they'll tell you it's not what Preloader Nation is about. But I'm always going to give you the actual factual and tell you what you need to know and encourage you that if that is you, all you have to do is practice these simple little steps and that won't be you anymore. And then you are going to want to share this with people you know and care about, or even people you don't know. But if you see them riding like that, you're going to feel compelled to share this. Remember, if you teach something, then you've learned it twice. And every time you teach it, you learn it again. Love you guys. See time doesn't equal practice time, guys. So get out there and practice. Love you. Until next time.